Hi, welcome to Rock and Metal Invasion. My name is Steve. Coming up on the show today, Blue Murder, Nothin But Trouble. Now, this is the second Blue Murder album and the follow-up to the 1989 self-titled album. Blue Murder is well known, of course, for being the band that features John Sykes on vocals and guitar. John Sykes, formerly from Whitesnake, he wrote and performed on the multi-platinum album from 1987. He's also been in Tigers of Pantang and Thin Lizzy. Now, I gave my opinions on the debut Blue Murder album on Peter Kerr's Rock Daydream Nation channel, so go check that out if you haven't and you're interested. But after doing that, I thought it would be quite interesting to talk about the second album, which is lesser known. We did talk about it very briefly on Peter's channel, but not to any great detail because we'd already gone like almost 2 hours. So I thought let's have a chat about the second Blue Murder album, which is definitely less known, and I do actually happen to have a vinyl copy of it. So first of all, this is Blue Murder self-titled album. There the guys are at the back. So they were a three-piece at the stage. So got John Sykes, vocals, guitar, Tony Franklin on the fretless bass, and Carmen Appice on drums. So that was their 1989 lineup. Now this is like I said, lucky to have this on vinyl. This is Nothin But Trouble. Now this album came out in 1993, although 1993. Yeah, so it's 1993. And on the back, guys look a bit different here, don't they? So you got John Sykes, it's Marco Mendoza on bass, Tommy Osteen on drums, and Kelly Keeling, who I'm not sure what really he does, except I do know he sings on one of the songs. And Tony Franklin and Carmen Appice do make appearances on some of the songs as well. I think I know one song in particular that they do. Kelly Keeling is of course from Baton Rouge. He was the vocalist for them. So it's an unusual sort of a lineup in some ways, but especially when you've still got some past members sort of around and playing on songs. But and you bring someone in just basically, I think, just to do vocals. But because then I've got the insert here, and Kelly Keeling is not pictured here, but they've got Nick Green. They've added Nick Green in, so he's the keyboard player. And yeah, John Sykes, Tommy Osteen, and Marco Mendoza there. And this is all written up, and this is the only pressing on vinyl was a Korean pressing. So yeah, it's all in Korean. It's got lyrics on the back. So let's get into it. So the first Blue Murder album was actually produced by Bob Rock as one of his first production jobs. But this one it's mixed by Mike Fraser, but the producer is John Sykes, so he's producing it. And so the first song is actually the first and only single from this album, and it's called We All Fall Down. And it's a fantastic rock, a great rocker to start off the album. Now there is a single. This was released as a single, and there is a video for this song as well. I don't know if it's the best choice. I don't know if it's the best choice, especially if they were only going to release one single. I don't know if this is the best one, but I do like this song. It's just a fast-paced, good rocking song. Great way to kick off the album. I think it's a really good song kicking off the album. So that's the first song on the album. Then the next song is Ichiku Park, which is actually a cover of a Small Faces song. Now, I don't hate that song, but I'm not necessarily looking for Blue Murder to do a version of that song. It doesn't necessarily even really sound that much different. It's just, it's got the Blue Murder kind of input on it, but it's cover songs very rarely a good thing for me. Usually you either like the original, and if you like the original, why do you need it covered? Unless they're going to do it completely different, and they don't. So it's like it's an okay song. I don't mind the song, so it's okay that it's there. But really, I just wish it wasn't track 2, and yeah, I really I didn't think this was a good choice, really. But anyway, so that's track 2. Now things get better again, because now we're back to doing Blue Murder songs, and this might be the best song on the album, or one of the best songs. And definitely this song, I could have imagined on the Whitesnake 1987 album. So this third song is Cry for Love. Really has a lot of similarities, I think, to some of the songs from the Whitesnake 1987 album. It is a long song, 7 minutes long, but you could have edited it down, and actually, I think it could have been a single. It could have been perhaps a better choice as a first single, because it's just really, when you think about I know that it's 1993 now, so times have changed, so it still might not have been successful, but when you think about the success that Whitesnake had in 1987 with songs like this, I could have imagined this being a hit. But whether it still would have been a hit in 1993, perhaps not. But in 7 minutes long, yeah. And like I said, you could trim it down, but it's one of those songs where it doesn't feel 7 minutes long. And there are some other songs that are 7 minutes long on this album where they feel like they're 20 minutes long. But this one, it just flies by, and sounds fantastic. So great stuff. Now the next song, Runaway. This is a really good power ballad. Again, this, if you would, like back in the day, you'd start off with your sort of your rock, and then you'd release your ballad. Cry for Love it's not a heavy song, but you could have had that as your first single, and then Runaway would have been a really good follow-up second single. It's a power ballad, so the guitars are still heavy, but it's a ballad song. Actually, it kind of reminds me of, and this, we noticed this when we were talking about the Blue Murder debut album, where some of the songs are either sound like a Whitesnake song or a Thin Lizzy song, and I could imagine this one more as a Thin Lizzy song. This would be a great Thin Lizzy song. So Runaway, track 4, really good song, really good song. So good start to the album, apart from the cover, which is so. 3 really good songs so far. And carrying on again with track 5, Dance. Now this one, for me, it's almost like hair metal. It sounds quite hair metal, musically and lyrically. It's got some of the lyrics from that song. She's like a vision in white. She's a schoolboy's delight. She's got a point 38 special running hot tonight. And it's just musically and lyrically, it could have come out in 1987, 88. Really good stuff though. I mean, it's quality. There's good hair metal and there's bad hair metal, and this is good. I really enjoyed this song. Love that one. The last song on, most people probably only have this on CD if they have it at all, but for me, it's the last song on side 1. It's I'm on Fire. Now, this is a bit of a throwaway song for me. It's fast-paced rocker, but and it's Kelly Keeling from Baton Rouge on vocals on this one, and he's fine. But I actually prefer John Sykes. I prefer his vocals, but that's not really the issue. It's just a, like I said, just a bit of a throwaway song. It's fast-paced rocker. It's okay, but nothing really stands out. So that's the end of side 1. The first 6 songs, and 4 out of 6 are great, are really, really awesome songs, and I think equal to pretty much any of the good songs from the debut album. So it's a fantastic first half, first side, and let's see how we go with side 2. So kicking off side 2, or track 7, it's a ballad, and it's called Save My Love. Now this one, we're going back to sort of a little bit of Whitesnake kind of vibes coming through here. Actually reminds me a little bit of Is This Love, which I'm not a massive fan of, but it's not bad. I can see why that song was successful, and I don't mind it, I suppose. Of course, it's been played to death, but yeah, so it reminds me a little bit of that. Yeah, lyrically, and this is a bit of an issue with this album. It's full of cliches, you know. I'm saving my love. Give me one more try. My love is gonna live forever. That sort of lyrics, those sort of lyrics. So yeah, nothing particularly original there, but it's not bad. It's not bad, you know. Like I said, reminds me a little bit of Is This Love. So again, you could have imagined this potentially also being maybe not a bad choice as a single. Could have been a hit, but again, would it have been a hit in 1993? Next song, Love Child. Now, this is the third song already, and we're what are we on? We're only on this is track 8. So, and it's the third song with love in the title. But interesting too, that it's called Love Child because in the previous Blue Murder album there was a song called Sex Child. So yeah, I don't know, maybe this is the sequel. And actually, the funny thing is, musically, it kind of sounds like a sequel. It's kind of similar, and it's 5.5 minutes long. And I've got to say, it's a bit of an effort to actually listen to the whole thing. Maybe if they had just like cut this song down to 3 minutes, it would have been like, it's a passable kind of rock song, but nothing memorable. And when it's 5.5 minutes, lyrically it's not great. Like I said, it's sort of like a sequel to Sex Child. And when I was reviewing the Blue Murders debut album, that was the one song that I think we all felt wasn't one of the better songs on the album. So I have to say with Love Child, it's not a great song. So but it's okay, I guess. But when it's 5.5 minutes long, it's 5.5 minutes. Yeah, well, maybe 2.5 minutes too long. Anyway, next song, Shouldn't Have Let You Go. Again, where lyrically it's all about lost love. It's sort of like a mid-paced rocker. It never really gets heavy, and I think for me, that's what I'm waiting for on this album. I'm really waiting for those big riffs, like that first album had some great killer riffs on it, like Blue Murder, the song Blue Murder, Riot, and my favorite song from the first Blue Murder album is Black Hearted Woman. What a riff that kicks off that album. Yeah, so that's kind of what I feel like I'm missing a little bit on this album. Shouldn't Have Let You Go. Yeah, it's okay. But not great. So second side's a bit disappointing for me so far. And the next song, I Need an Angel, it doesn't unfortunately get much better. I'm sort of feeling like I need a better song. I've got to say, it's another power ballad, and this one is another 7-minute song. And this is where it's a problem that it's 7 minutes because it just doesn't grab me, the song. Yeah, it's another power ballad as well. So we've sort of already had a ballad on this side. This is the third ballad. So yeah, it does showcase John's guitar playing, and that's where does some nice solos. But yeah, it's just not a memorable song. I'm sort of, when I'm listening to the song, I get the feeling that he's actually sort of trying to write a hit song, trying to write, Is This Love type song. And it didn't work it worked okay with Save My Love, but on I Need an Angel, not so much. And, the previous sort of power ballad, Runaway, I did like. That's a good song. So I guess it's, one's been really good of the power ballads. One's been really good. One's been okay. But this one, apart from like I said, John's playing on it, there's some nice guitar work on it. Not a big fan. And again, I'm still really waiting for like I said before, something with some really great riffs on it. A real good heavy song with some good riffs. And this side hasn't really delivered that yet. Unfortunately, we're on to the last track, and it's not going to deliver on the final track either. I mean, the 1989 album, it had such a banger to end with Black Hearted Woman. This it ends with She Knows, and yeah, it's another ballad type song. So that's 4 ballads and a total of 11 songs. And yeah, again, it's about lost love. It's okay. I mean, again, it's not a song I would mind hearing, because at least it's not going on for 7 minutes. But it's about 3.5 minutes long. But yeah, I think it actually would be quite a good B-side type track. But otherwise, yeah, I can see why it's the last song of the album. But like I said, it's the 4th ballad on the album, really. So a bit too many, and a little bit of a disappointing end to the album. So first side was great, really good. Second side, not so much. So it's not a side that I play very much, but the first side, absolutely, I enjoy playing that one. So there is also actually, interestingly enough, there's a Japanese bonus track. So if you get the Japanese CD, although I don't think it's actually advertised on the back cover, but there's a bonus track, and it's called Bye Bye. So I've listened to it online. Now this is definitely, I'm pretty sure anyway, and looking at the comments on the YouTube video where Tony Franklin, by the sounds of it, actually commented saying it was him on the fretless bass and Carmen on the drums. So yeah, so the old lineup's on this one, and yeah, it's not a bad song, I suppose, but it's got horns in it, and I'm not always a big fan of a horn section in the songs. Again, yeah, I was when I sort of heard that there was a Japanese bonus track, I thought, oh, maybe this will be the heavy rocker with a great riff that I've been waiting for, but it's not on this song, unfortunately. Again, lyrically, it's about lost love, although this time slightly different. Lost love that he's not going to miss. It's like he's saying things like she's just the devil in an angel's disguise, that sort of thing. So yeah, so there we go. So that's the bonus track. So if you get the Japanese version of the album, you might be able to get that song. I don't have it because I've got the Korean vinyl version. But yeah, anyway, so that's the story of Blue Murder. So after that, there is a live album that is released under the Blue Murder name, which I don't have, but I wouldn't mind getting. But then he goes off and he does some solo albums. He does quite a few actually in the 90s, which is quite surprising when you think about the lack of output in recent years. But yeah, fairly busy in the 90s. He hooked back up with Thin Lizzy as well, and did some touring with them. But he's been promising a new album. I assume it's just going to go under the John Sykes name, but he has been promising a new album since 2015, something like that. And there's been some teasers and some songs that have sort of been released, or one song at least has been released. Doesn't sound bad, it sounds like John Sykes for sure. He's had some big names coming in to play on the album, but yeah, still waiting to actually wonder if it's actually ever going to get released now. So so there we go. So that's the story of Blue Murder and Nothin But Trouble. A good album. Yeah, worth checking out, absolutely. But are we going to see any more from John Sykes or Blue Murder? We'll have to wait and see. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, it's been fun getting that record out, and I gave it a good listen this morning, and I thought, yeah, it is worth listening to. And yeah, also be nice if there was some new material, because I know there's lots of Blue Murder fans out there, or John Sykes fans, who want to hear more. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.